In EFRAT, we touch women. Women come to us when they're at their most dramatic moments of their lives, when they're in the middle of making this impossible decision. How am I going to have this baby? I don't have enough money. My husband just lost his job. I just started a new job. I'm going to lose my job when they find out that I'm pregnant. You know, in Israel, we live to the very tippy end of our income, everybody, even the most normative people. And it's just such an impossible situation and such a dramatic thing. And a lot of the women who come to us have the feeling already that if they have the abortion, they're going to be really, really sorry about it. And some of them know by experience that that's what happens. You know, a lot of the women who come to us are women who had abortions in the past, or sometimes in the recent past. And one of the questions that I always ask in the intake, and the girls who work with this, or the women who work with me also, is, have you had an abortion in the past? And when a woman says that she did, I always ask her, and how do you remember the experience? And the answers I get are horrific, are really, you know, it's the worst thing that ever happened to me. It was a nightmare. It was terrible. 4 months ago, I had an abortion, this woman once said to me, and for 4 months I haven't slept. You know, there's all kinds of, I know from people who go into terrible situations where their couple the relationship is ruined by the abortion. It's really a terrible thing.
But you must also meet women at the beginning of this process of decisions where they're saying, we can't do it. You don't even try to convince me. We can't do this. We need to go with the abortion.
I never try to convince anybody. I say, look, here's the facts that we know, that women who have abortions are sorry about it. Women who don't have abortions, of the 60,000 women that EFRAT has helped over the past 37, almost 38 years, not one has told us, I'm sorry that I didn't have the abortion at the time. Not one. Not one, which is like amazing. Just yesterday, I had a very interesting conversation with a woman who was, she was absolutely convinced the only thing for her to do was to have an abortion. So we were talking, and all of a sudden I said, you know what, you're already in your, 11th week? No, more, it was even less, it was 9th week. I said, so that means that you know already for 5 weeks that you're pregnant and you haven't had the abortion yet. There must be something. And she like crumbled. Why did she crumble? Because I touched her at the place of her ambivalence. And the ambivalence is the thing that is over kechut hashani. Every woman has it. I'm sorry for the Hebrew, but it's like it goes through. Every story that we get to is the ambivalence, is that even though I don't think that I have the possibility to continue the pregnancy, something in my heart tells me that abortion's not the right thing to do.
There's a partner in most of these cases, of course, and while you're exactly telling the story, how you touched the mother, how about the husband? How about the partner? That's probably more challenging.
This is a sensitive issue, because unfortunately, really unfortunately, and I think it's something that men all over the world have to kind of open their eyes to. Unfortunately, in the vast majority of the cases that turn to us, the man in the woman's life is the one who's pressuring her to have an abortion. And I have another question, is where are all the feminist organizations? What about empowering women to do what they want for their life, for their body? How does that come around?
So when you do get into dialogue with the men, what is the point where you touch them? What moves them? What motivates them?
We don't get into a dialogue with the men for the most part. What we do is explain to the woman and empower her to go to her partner or her father or her parents or whatever the story is. It's usually her partner, and say, look, I love you. I want to be with you, but you can't tell me what I can do with my body. That it's my body. I have to make the decision.
Now you're in touch also with the women, the mothers, the girls sometimes after the birth. What tell us about that connection?
Wow, amazing. People come in with their babies to show us their babies, and they're just glowing. They're just so. One woman just recently, it was a really not an easy case. It was a case where the woman had to leave her parents' home because of the pregnancy. She's divorced. She has a child. She had to go live with a girlfriend in order to continue the pregnancy, and it was really, really not an easy case. And she came in on the way home from the hospital. She said, "You have to see this beautiful baby I had, this beautiful little girl." And her boy who's like 4, is like all over the baby. "Oh, I love my little sister." And it was just so moved. It was really, that happens all the time. You can see if you show pictures in the office, there's pictures of children, even teenagers, that over the years the parents send us.
Keeps you going?
Yeah, oh, for sure. That's totally our compensation. Whenever anybody writes us thank you notes, and we get thank you letters all the time, I always write them back, "Thank you so much for your warm words that give us the strength to continue."